I'm kind of confused by what Alex says, personally. You always hear him in interviews saying, "Oh, I'm not the most talented player, I just work the hardest, that's why I win." I don't think that's true. I think he's a really talented player. He understands the game really, really well. Like, he'll read every situation he gets into, like, almost perfectly. You can almost never trick him. Like, even a lot of the times I'll beat him in, like, an online cup that's not very important. And, like, I'll do some weird all-in. And I ended up barely winning with some crazy cheese. And afterwards, he's like, "Yeah, like, I actually thought you were gonna do that, but I don't like deviating from what I normally do, so even though you sent that Overlord in, and I knew that if I sent my Stalker to kill it, Lings will run in my base. I always send the Stalker to kill it, so I just sent it anyways." Like, even when you catch him off guard, and I know this is true, because I do it so often, so even when you beat him with something like that, it feels like he knew that was probably gonna happen, and he just understands the game perfectly.
I think Neeb is so good because he's a really smart guy who I don't think really blames. I think a lot of players kind of go to this mind space where they blame the race or kind of blame something out of their control, but it doesn't really seem like Neeb's like that. Kind of he understands when he loses and kind of thinks about it, and while, you know, he might joke around and say this is OP or that is OP, I think he really knows what to focus on and what to practice on in the games that he doesn't do well in, and I know he practices a ton.
He says himself because he just seems to practice harder than everybody else, and I do believe it. He's obviously a very smart and intelligent kid because, you know, he looks at the game and he just seems to understand it. He analyzes things incredibly well. When you talk to him about StarCraft, it's fun to hear how he looks at things as well, because, you know, we all watch and play a lot of StarCraft, so we all have our opinions. And then you talk with Neeb, and he's like, "No, that's just not right." And it's like, "Oh, okay." And it's like, "Why?" And he explains it, like, "Okay, I guess I can get behind that. I'd like to see some more evidence." And then, like, he shows it to you in the next 5-6 games, like, "Okay, I'm sold," you know. So he's just very smart, and he practices an insane amount.
I think it's a combination of mentality or attitude and work ethic. Like, he's just always been dedicated to winning, and he's always had the work ethic that keeps him pushing towards that as much as possible. Like, he's always had very little on his mind other than being the best StarCraft player he can be. Like, you know, he was never into streaming, never tried to explore other options. He was always just focused on winning and being the best StarCraft player he could be. And then also he had the work ethic / the time to do that. You know, there are a lot of players who have this in spurts, but he has been at it for several years now where he's had the dedication and the work ethic to put himself towards his goal of winning, you know, for several years at a time. And that has pushed him above the level of many players who have only been able to do that in short periods of time.
Neeb put so much into the game. I lived with him actually only, like, really briefly last year because I went home, like, right when he came to Korea. But this year, like, I stayed with him for 2-3 months, and I talked to Jake, who lived with him last year, and he just plays, like, all day, every day. Unless we go out to get food, he's just playing StarCraft. He goes to his room for a bit, comes back, plays more StarCraft, like, all day. And I guess I kind of admire that, because I was never like that myself. I tried that one time and my wrist got screwed up, so I can't do it anymore because, like, I have physical issues. So seeing someone put all of themselves into the game and then get so much success off it, like, it's kind of inspiring.